morning, scholars. I hope you had a nice long weekend and celebrated the holiday with people that are special to you. Today is Tuesday, May 26th, 2020. This is ELA Mini Lesson number 40. We are continuing practicing to make predictions before we read and summarize after we read chapters in a novel. Our learning targets are: I can make predictions using details from the text, and I can summarize a chapter in a novel. We've had a lot of practice doing different types of summaries, but making predictions is still a little bit new to us. So remember, we make predictions based on what we know already about the characters, and also we can make predictions based on what we expect to happen. But our predictions should be realistic. They should match what we know about the characters and what we know about the events that are to come in this story. Let's get our materials ready for today. So we want to have our copy of Junie B Jones and Her Big Fat Mouth open up to chapter 5, Shining. We also want to make sure we have our graphic organizer ready. So go ahead and open up your packet to Tuesday, May 26th. Now, since yesterday we did not read a chapter together, it would be a good idea to look back to your graphic organizer from last Friday and reread what happened in chapter 4, and also your predictions, what you think are going to happen in today's chapter, chapter 5. Another guest reader for you today, but before we listen to her read, let's go ahead and take some time to make our predictions for this chapter before we start reading. The title of today's chapter is Shining. I'm going to give you a hint. It has something to do with what happened in the previous chapter, chapter 4, which is called Dumb Ollie. So look back at your graphic organizer. What happened in chapter 4? How is Junie B feeling about her brother Ollie, the baby? Go ahead and pause the video so you can make your predictions for what is going to happen in chapter 5. Then when you're ready, hit play again. We are going to listen to our guest reader read Junie B Jones and Her Big Fat Mouth, chapter 5. Make sure you follow along in your copy of the text while you listen to our guest reader. And after the video is over, come back to your graphic organizer and make predictions for what you think is going to happen in chapter 6 of Junie B Jones and Her Big Fat Mouth.
This is Junie B Jones, chapter 5, Shining. When I went back inside, Ollie was still very screaming. That's because Mother couldn't find his pacifier. Pacifiers are what babies like to suck on, except I don't know why, because one time I sucked on Ollie's, and it tasted like my red sneakers. Just then, Mother runned out of Ollie's room, and her hair was very sticking out, and her clothes were all wrinkly, and she was wearing one sock, and that's all. "Where is it? Where is the pacifier? It just didn't disappear into thin air, you know," she hollered very loud. Then me and Daddy had to help Mother look for the pacifier, speedy quick, because she was losing her grip, I think. I looked in the couch. That's because sometimes if you push your hand way under the cushions, you can find some good stuff under there. This time, I found 3 Cheetos and a popcorn. They were very delicious. After that, I looked under Daddy's big chair, only it was too dark to see under there, and so I runned to get the flashlight, because I learned about flashlights in school, remember? Flashlights are fun to shine in the dark. I shined it in the dark closet and also down the dark basement steps. Then I remembered another dark place, and its name was Screaming Ollie's room, because his shades were pulled down for his nap, that's why. I runned right there very fast. "Look," I said to Screaming Ollie, "I've got a flashlight." I shined it on his ceiling. See that little round circle of shine up there?" I said. Then I shined it on his jungle wallpaper. "And see the monkeys, Ollie? And the hippopot of something?" I asked him. Only Screaming Ollie just kept right on screaming, and he didn't show courtesy to me. Courtesy is the school word for listening, very polite. That's how come I shined it right in his big, fat, crying mouth. Except for just then a problem happened, and it's called Mother sneaked up on me in her quiet sock. "Junie B Jones, what in the world do you think you're doing?" she hollered. I did a gulp. And then my heart got very pumpy because I was in big trouble. That's why. I'm shinin', I said real soft. Out, she said. Out right now. And so that's how come I started to leave. Except for then the flashlight shined on the floor and I saw something very wonderful down there. Hey, look! It's the pacifier, I shouted. I found the pacifier. It was hiding under the rocking chair. Then I hurried to pick it up and I gave it to Mother. Her face got relief on it. Thank goodness, she said. Yes, thank goodness, I said back. Mother wiped the pacifier off. Then she blowed on it very hard. Yeah, only you can't blow germs off, you know, I said. 'Cause stuff that's been on the ground is very dangerous. And so then Mother gave me the pacifier, and I washed it off with soap and water. And guess what? Then I put it right in Ollie's mouth, and he stopped crying. Mother looked proud of me. Where did you get so smart? She asked. At school, that's where, I said. Then all of a sudden my eyes got big and wide, 'cause a very great idea popped right inside of my head. Hey, I thought of it, I hollered. I thought of what I can be for job day. Then I jumped up and down, and I runned down the hall. Daddy was in his chair reading the paper. I busted through it with my head. I thought of it! I thought of what kind of job I can be when I grow up! Daddy said, slow down to me. That's because he didn't know what the heck I was talking about, of course. Yeah, only I can't slow down, I explained, 'cause I'm very celebrating, and now I don't have tension in me anymore. Just then Mother came into the room. What's all the excitement about? She said. I clapped my hands together. I have an announcement. That's what it's all about, I said, real happy. Well, what is it? Said Mother. Tell us. And so then I stood up straight and tall, and I told Mother and Daddy the name of the job I'm going to be when I grow up. That's a good one, right? I said, very excited. That's the bestest job you ever heard of, isn't it? Except for Mother and Daddy didn't answer me. They just kept looking and looking at each other. And then Daddy did a funny smile. And Mother said the word, oh boy. This has been Miss Jan reading Junie B Jones, Chapter 5.